and I'm here with Tuna tonight. We are two-manning it tonight here on our TNT podcast. Everyone else is a little busy out there. Roddy's doing his OnlyFans, and Sam's, I don't know, probably barbecuing or something in the backyard. But I'm sure he's busy too. But we miss them. They will be back. Don't worry. But we have had an interesting week in tech. Last week we were talking all about the Pixel 8 Pro and how impressed we were with it. Now it's been in people's hands for about a week, and we'll just say we've got some thoughts. And I think that's probably the best place to start. So, Tuna, you and I basically got our 8 Pros, I think, around the same day, if I remember right. It was earlier
I got
this week.
mine on the 11th.
Yep, so that would be me too. So I got mine exact same day. I didn't actually get a chance to open it for a couple of days because I was so busy. So I just cracked it open yesterday and, screen protected it and put it in a case and did all that shit. But so tell me, you've had it for what, like a couple of days now?
Yeah.
What's been your general overall impression so far?
There is no general. I mean, it's a great phone. I'm going to. The cameras are great. I'm having trouble figuring out this AI crap, like the best shot, whatever, because I'm not sure how to use it. I'm sure it's great. The other thing is it's not a performance beast. Now, people are saying, I don't know if you watched Dave 2D at all. He came out and said battery life has been about the same as last year. I haven't had it long enough to eat. I don't know how you can evaluate battery life in a week, but I can't evaluate battery life. It's been okay. It's just, there's a lot of hype. Kind of like the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I was hyped for that, and I got it, and I was like, okay, it's an iPhone still. I think it's the same thing. You get hyped about something, and once it comes in, it's like, okay, it's great, but it's still a Pixel, or it's still an iPhone. So to me, the cameras are fantastic, but it wasn't. That's not surprising. They are every year.
So I like I said, I only just managed to crack open the box yesterday, but I did get a chance today to play.
And of course.
With... Oh, yes, you went blue. I went black, which I normally
and blue.
do. So I haven't got the watch on. It's still in its box. But yes, right there.
That's a whole other can of worms, too.
It is. Yeah, we'll get to that shortly. But so I managed to play, speaking of the camera, the big thing I got a chance to play with was the fancy AI where you can move somebody or a thing and reposition.
I have not yet. I have not been able to do that yet.
Okay, so I'll tell you what my experience is. I had my wife next to me who is traditionally untechnical, I think is probably the best way to put it. And I was like, hey, have a look at this. So I took a photo of her back to the camera, looking out into the ocean, whatever, scenic kind of beautiful photo. And I'm like, watch this. So I clicked on the AI button. I held on her and it highlighted her whole shape. I dragged her across a couple of centimeters in frame, doing some proper good golden ratio framing. I clicked the accept button, and it did exactly what it wanted to do. It generative AI'd the cutout so that it looked like that was originally part of the ocean and what we were looking at. And I said, look at this. So I showed her the before, I showed her the after. And the first words that came out of her mouth was, it looks artificial looking.
Really?
As in, like, she said it looked like you had cut and pasted her into a new position. Yeah. So I tried it again on a few different photos. Like, I tried it on myself, waving to the camera at a baseball game with a mesh net. Baseball bats in the background.
I think I saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the photo. So I tried to kind of hold on me and drag me across, and it didn't do a great job because of the net, like behind it. It just couldn't figure out what the fuck to put there.
Right.
So that didn't work well. And then the last one I used was a photo of my son at a baseball tournament, and it was a photo of him in the field. Only him, just grass, some of the dirt of the mound, all of that kind of stuff. And I did the same thing. I held on him. I dragged him across the frame. I repasted him down. I showed my wife. She's like, yep, it looks weird. She's like, it looks like you've cut and pasted it. So that was my first experience with one of the AI features. That was the feature I was looking forward to the most because I like the idea that you can take something that wasn't in that position, put it in a new position, and it will fill that background with their AI generative technology.
Okay, so question.
Yeah.
Are you throwing it in the trash can?
I said to you before we went on air, like I had the Pixel 7 Pro, I had the Pixel 6 Pro, I've had the Pixel 8, I've had the regular Pixel 7, I've had the regular Pixel 6. I've had them all in the last 3 years. I even had the Pixel Fold. My initial impression, and I've only used it for maybe 24 to 48 hours here, is it's a bit meh. Like, it's good. Is it going to absolutely change the smartphone world? Like most Pixels, unfortunately, no. The camera is fantastic. The photos I've taken with it is very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think time will tell. I don't think people are going to use the AI features. I'm going to be honest with you.
I think if they're more accessible or a little more understandable. So did you see the article I posted? There was an article, I don't think it was an Android Authority or one of those Android sites, where he said the Tensor G3 is the most powerful flagship chip out. And I'm like, okay, I got to see what he's talking about. So performance-wise, absolutely not. AI-wise, I don't know. The TPU or whatever they're talking about, they're saying it's pretty great. I think for what they're building, this is the future. I think for them, I shouldn't say the future for everything. I think I'm not meh on the phone. I do like it.
Yeah.
But I still see myself grabbing the Pixel Fold more.
Yeah.
And
because it's different, right?
It's different. It's got a different aspect rate. I don't know. So am I sold on it? It doesn't matter. I already bought it. So
me too. Yeah, it's already coming out of my credit card.
I was going to do a Pixel. I was going to do the Pixel Pass. Oh wait, they canceled that. Never mind. Can't do Pixel Pass. So I couldn't do that. You know, it's a good phone. It really is. And I think, like the iPhone, we got to let it flesh out some of the problems. You think with all the testing, as big as these companies are, a lot of these issues will be done. And I think some of these companies just say, look, let's push it out. No one's going to find out. And if they do, we can issue some software updates. That's the world we live in. So give Google some credit. And then give it some time. And I think it's never going to be a powerhouse, but I think the AI is definitely going to be easier to understand. And it's going to work better. And they're going to do a bunch of stuff with feature drops too here in the next couple months. So we'll see.
I think, one of the things I think is a bit interesting this year with the Pixel 8 is that Google has always pushed the Pixel phone to be like what I like to call the everyman phone. So anybody could pick it up. It's the Android phone that you would want to use because it's easy to understand. It's simple. It's what they call...
And it is.
Yeah, and it is. It is. It's the Android. It's the Apple of Android, if that makes sense, or however you want to describe that. But my fear is that the use of all this AI, especially in some of the camera features and some of the other parts of the software, is that people just won't give a shit. And I know that sounds terrible, but the average consumer is not going to click that AI button. They're not going to go to Google Photos. They're not going to click that button. They're not going to edit. I don't see them using the face swap feature. I don't see them using all of this stuff that allegedly, it does. And as sad as that is, I just us being into tech, I love the idea. I'll try it out. I'll give it a go. Right. But I don't know if that's enough to sell more Pixel devices.
I think it's, again, give it more time, see what Google goes with it. The other problem is I think like with Magic Eraser, I use it a handful of times, and it's kind of one of those things where I don't use it all the time, but I'll be taking a picture, and I'm like, I'm going to edit this photo, and I'll open up and go, instead of cutting this out, I'm going to just chop it. I'm going to chop it up. I think that's one thing we need to maybe do more often. And same with this face swap. I'm assuming, and you've used it, you got to take multiple pictures of the same scene to have it swapped.
No. So it takes a burst of photos, and within
Is that a mode you have to do before you do that? Look, I took a picture of my daughter just sitting there, and nothing pops up. I went to tools. It's not there ever.
I think it's in Google Photos.
Yeah, in Google Photos. I can't. I go to tools, and it's never there. I've never seen it yet for face swap.
I don't remember, to put it simply, but I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I love what Google's trying to do. Like, I like the idea. I like that they're trying to bring something new, that it's exciting, that they're trying to do something in the smartphone space that other people haven't. But I almost feel like, and you're going to think I'm crazy here when I say this, but I actually think Apple may have it right. I think the future of like these smartphones and these slab phones is not going to be something that's in your hand. And I know that's hard for me to admit because I've always been a slab phone user of some form for the last 15 years. But I don't know. Like, I'm starting to wonder if maybe we're just getting tired of the format. Like, is that what it is? We're just tired of it.
I don't think I don't know if it's so much we're tired or the companies are just out of ideas. How many times can you innovate a slab phone? I don't know if what they're doing is the future. The VR, that whatever mixed reality. So I know no one cares about the Meta Quest 3. I've tried to bring it up the last few live shows.
Yeah.
It was released on the 10th, and I've been watching reviews, and I mean, it's not the Google Vision Pro or the Apple Vision Pro, but it's for $500. You can hook it to a PC or use a virtual PC without wires. You can use it standalone. It's got mixed reality. It does everything, and that to me is more the future because of the price.
Yes. Yeah, it's way cheaper than the Apple.
And Apple's great. Their iPhone's great, but I think the iPhone 15 Pro suffers just as much as the new Pixel because it's
100%. Yeah, it is. It is. And I mean, this is the thing. And I almost wonder, like, so me coming from the 14 Pro Max to the 15 Pro Max, as somebody that used the last year's version, I can see the changes. Like, I can see that it is dramatically better in my eyes anyway. The camera's definitely better. It's lighter. The screen's nice, like all of that. But again, we knew that. That's not something that's foreign to an Apple user. We know that it's going to be, iterative, but they'll make some changes that hopefully work out better.
Well, wait, you said you can notice the changes from the 14 Pro to the 15 Pro Max.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you notice the same difference from the 7 Pro to the 8 Pro? Now, I know you've only had it for a few days. It's hard to tell, but...
So it is hard to tell. Hardware-wise, the flat screen is definitely better.
Okay.
The frosted back is definitely better. The overall experience, meh. I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I've used a Pixel now for the better part of 3 or 4 years on and off for months and months at a time. And I just came off of the Pixel Fold from back into the Pixel 8 Pro. It feels very familiar.
I think the biggest benefit for me over the iPhone 15 Pro Max is a beast performance-wise. Besides that, 100%. I think camera-wise, it comes down to what you want. You can go to every comparison you want, but if you didn't have what they were, you wouldn't know. My biggest thing is the Pixel feels personal. Like, when I hold it in my hand, I feel like it understands me. And I know it's part of Big Brother, AI, machine learning, but that's what I like. I feel like the iPhone 15, and as the more they go, it feels more cold. Like, more distant. Like, it doesn't seem, they can tout all these great technologies, but it doesn't seem like it's a personalized product to me. Colors are boring. The OS seems to, this is off this side note.
Yeah.
So, I got the Pro right here. And the universal on Apple, or Google, when I'm in an app, I swipe back to get out. You can't do that on an iPhone. And I don't know how many times since I've had the 15 Pro Max, I've tried to swipe up to my app drawer. Or swipe back to get out of something. It drives me up a wall. And that's just something that I'm not. I mean, I have iPhones. I'm just not.
You're just not used to it. Yeah.
Jesus. Drives me insane.
It is nice. And I mentioned this. I tweeted this, but realized I'd broke embargo. But now I can talk freely. I know, right? Again.
Hold on. I got to call somebody. He broke embargo. Don't worry about it. If someone comes in behind you, just ignore him.
It's fine. It's fine. But I will say that the speech to text is dramatically improved for me on the 8 Pro.
It's quick.
It is very fast and very accurate. Yeah. I like that because that was one thing I always used on the Pixel 7 Pro. Every text message, every email that I had to send on the go, where I didn't want to have to spend the time typing it out, I'd go bang, 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 bang. It's gone. No problem. I just realized today that Canadians, because I'm located in Toronto, we don't get the AI with Bard because right now, for those of you who don't know, Canada and Google are in the middle of a big fight.
No.
Yes, a big fight over.
Can't they just settle over a pint of syrup?
It's just serious. A pint of Molson Canadian would be fine.
The Molson Canadian. There you go.
Yeah, that's the bit. Yes, in Canada, our beer is actually called Molson, and then the word Canadian, just so you know where it comes from. But I know. Yeah, fun fact about Canada, number one for today. But what I was going to say is they've got right now Google and Canada, the country, the government of Canada, are fighting over the sharing of news. So basically,
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So the Canadian government, for the short version of this story, wants Google to pay news publications if people share their news on one of their platforms, right? The government of Canada, Google said no, that's stupid. It is stupid. And the government of Canada said, okay, well, then you won't be able to. So they essentially, you can't share a Canadian news story on social media platforms basically anymore.
Yeah, I've noticed a real lack of Canadian news. And it's really starting to affect my life,
I know, all those maple syrup famines and all of that you're missing out on.
Well, I mean, and you mentioned that's text-to-speech, and I know Bard isn't working right, but this sounds really stupid. So do you know when you take a picture on any pixel,
yes,
and you open that gallery and it kind of like processes for like a couple seconds and then it pops? I love that because I'm like, oh wow, like it gives you that holy. And with iPhone, I'm always waiting for it and it doesn't do it. I guess it's something you're used to, but it makes you feel like, wow, Google's machine learning. I think they do that shit on purpose because it makes you feel like, man, look how good our processing is.
Have you noticed it on the 8 Pro? Because I don't remember ever seeing it.
It depends on the photo. Like if I do low light, maybe it's not near as slow, but it's just that quick. And something else, the AI though, when you go to the food, it has a little purple AI button. I haven't really used much. Whatever I do to decide to change, it seems like it takes forever to adjust.
Yes, it does.
I thought this TPU was supposed to be super quick.
Even the generative wallpapers take forever.
Yeah, I tried that and I'm like, what the? Yeah, it's cool though.
It's taking a while. Oh, it's really cool. I mean, it's great if you love to customize your phone because you can have a new wallpaper every fucking day. And I never
did. I just but I'm really into like every week I change it.
Yeah,
and I have an app called now I got a one for wall or wall for one.
Yep.
And it's all AI generated and they offer new ones. There's a paid part and a free part. I just love the uniqueness of that. Anyways.
Yeah, so I mean, I understand AI is still in its infancy in a lot of ways, and especially generative AI is still in its infancy. So I can understand why it takes a little longer, and I can even forgive that. I'm not whatever. It is a really cool feature though. That's something that I am actually enjoying is that you can really customize your own version of your wallpaper. Now, for some people, again, meh. Like I know there's gonna be people out there that go, "Oh, I'm never gonna change my wallpaper. I'm just gonna use a photo of my kids or my dog."
And every phone has that. It's like when Apple is touting, you could do full console gaming, which is cool, but how many people are actually gonna do that? I mean, the 8 Pro has or the what's that? Red Magic had that console mode.
Yes,
I thought it'd be so cool, but I really never really used it.
Now, do you have the Pro or the Pro Max for the iPhone? I was gonna ask you.
Pro Max.
Pro Max. Okay, so my wife's been having issues with her battery on her Pro.
I'll be honest, I'm not super impressed with the Pro Max battery, and I don't use it that much. It's not my main sim, but it seems to drain.
Yeah,
and I'm on beta, and they just gave an update to my watch. I have an Apple Watch 8.
Yeah,
and they both have updated to the latest beta 2 or 3, so that might be why. But the Pixel 8 has been about the same. It's not bad by any means, but it's not like 9 hours of screen on time. So
no, I find it better than the 7 Pro so far, but the 7 Pro was also really good in the beginning. And so, it's one of those things where it's a wait and see kind of deal where it's like, are you actually going to have great battery with this phone? Is it going to be, Snapdragon Gen 2 efficient? No. But it's a nice slight upgrade to battery, I guess we could say at this point, without more testing.
I think it's decent. I think you're talking about the 8 Pro.
I think it's pretty good.
I just don't know if they made a mistake leaving Snapdragon. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 3 generations in now, right?
How long did it take for Apple's chips to be beasts? What didn't happen in 3 years? It probably took the age 11, 12 years into making it, where they actually got serious. So give Google some props, and they're using Samsung, and maybe they don't have the right engineers. So,
well, I will say this much: the screen clarity and brightness is much better. Even in direct sunlight, this phone really is an outdoor phone.
And the haptics are really good too. I've been enjoying the haptics. Yeah.
I was surprised actually. It shocked me when I first fired it up because I was like, it was like ding, 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 ding. You've got it's fucking bouncing back like it's.
You tested the vibration motor, of course, right?
Of course, yeah. I just put it on vibrate and put it down my pants, but I just wanted to see what happened. But yeah, no, it has been very bouncy, which again is good. But so has the 15 Pro Max. I found the haptics on the 15 Pro Max much better than last year as well. So
and they've been but the iPhone's always had pretty good haptics.
Pretty good, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think so far it's been fairly good. As again, this is very early for us. So, it's only a couple of days. So everyone that's listening, don't freak the fuck out and start hating on us on Twitter. There's been enough.
But you know what's funny?
Yes.
Go ahead.
No, go. I think you're segueing in.
I was just gonna say the 8 Pro's out. It's not a no-go. But I saw something on Twitter.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. X. I apologize.
X.
Please forgive me, Elon. People are already selling brand new 8 Pros for $800 on Swappa.
Yeah, that's
brand new.
Yeah.
You're already saving $100 to $200 just by buying it from somebody who is that Team Pixel? Is that a reviewer who bought it in a trade-in and it's like, F it, I need to get my money out of it? I don't know. $800 for even a version that was open for a day is a deal to me.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. For me, I got Google's Canada. Thank you very much. Sent me the 8. I was using that up until I got my own personal 8.
Google didn't send me anything. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
So they will one. Now that they're seeing who you are, Tuna, it's all gonna
right.
Yeah, they're gonna send you a
fan hat.
Yep, that's right. They're gonna send you a Pixel 6a and some Pixel Buds A.
They're excess stock that they haven't sold.
Exactly.
And a Pixel 1 watch.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
I'll get a whole 3 hours of screen time when they all those put together.
But yeah, what I was going to say is I think one of the things that's been annoying, and I addressed this. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, so we've been around Pixel launch time. Every fucking time Google's release a Pixel device, the hate stream begins. And, we talk about this a lot, where it doesn't matter what company it is. It could be Samsung, it could be Apple. But when it comes to Google, there just seems to be a little bit more hate than other companies. And I started to see this. So I was curious. I didn't get a chance to kind of jump on this right when it came out. I got mine on the 11th, a day before I was supposed to get it. So I didn't get a chance to kind of have a moment and read through reviews and watch reviews like I normally do. But then I started to have a look. And, I want to pick out one in particular. Fucking CNET. CNET. I'm going to put this up.
I saw the article. It's terrible. Big problems.
Yeah. Listen, this fucking guy at CNET, Andrew Langson, I encourage you to come on our podcast. I really fucking do. Because I would love to know what company paid you to shit on Pixel. Now, this guy came out, and I want to quote something he said there. With disappointing camera performance, missing features, and frustrating quirks, Google's new flagship feels half-baked at best. Come on.
That is not true. And every other video review, which I haven't seen a whole lot, maybe 3 or 4, and even some written ones like Engadget and Gizmodo, they've all said the cameras are the stop, and all the AI features. Yeah, we already knew some of them weren't going to be there. They said that in the stream.
Yes.
So either this guy is being paid to say bad things like you said, or he's a huge. I don't want to be mean.
iPhone.
He's either a Samsung or an iPhone guy, and he's like, "Watch this. I'm going to give these." And you wonder why iPhone is so successful.
Yeah,
they make good products, but
they do. But look, these again. Why is it okay for Apple to release a phone where the fucking thing heats up like it's about to catch on fire, and we can forgive it? But when Google releases a phone, it's a brand new AI-powered device that undoubtedly is going to have some software things that need to be tweaked.
And only on a third generation chip. And only on a third generation chip.
Yeah. Yes. And you come out and you write a review that fucking says it looks like a half-baked at best. Half-baked? Like, that's insane to me. And you know what? Like I said, this is exactly what I'm talking about. There are lots of other examples, and I will pull them up in a minute. But this shit here, 8 days. He had a few days, he said, testing multiple models of the Pixel 8 Pro. A few days.
Yeah. Wait. Days. If I think I remember correctly, he is in the UK, so there are some features that are missing. Is that correct?
And that's fair, and I understand that. But he
has to stipulate that. You put a tag like that in your title, like clickbait we've talked about before. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Now you're getting me mad.
Yeah. So
I didn't want to get mad.
A few days you had it, and a few days you can't generate an opinion about a brand new device. When we're sharing our opinions, we're saying, hey, it's early. It might get better. There's things we like. There's things we don't like. But you don't come out of here and fucking slam this phone so that you potentially turn away other buyers. Now, CNET, I'm going to argue they're not that big. I don't give a fuck. They might have been big.
Not anymore. I don't even watch. The only reason why I've even read this article is because it popped up in my news feed because I was looking at stuff on the Pixel 8. I usually do not read them anymore. But the other thing is I mean, nowadays phones are expected to get better with updates, and Pixel's known for that, especially with the Pixel drops.
Yes.
iPhone doesn't. They are known to be pretty reliable out the gate and then offering some updates. And I think if Sam was here, he mentioned that the kind of patchwork that they shouldn't be doing, but they are doing. So that's the big difference. Phones nowadays don't have to be. I mean, they should be perfect or close to it.
No, but, exactly.
Almost every company has a phone gets a patch for camera update, security, reliability.
I mean, look at the S23 Ultra. That fucking thing's a shit show right now. The fucking software updates have ruined the camera, brought it back, changed this, changed that, fucked the battery up, refixed it. Like, it happens. So, like he says,
I'm upset because the latest update to the iPhone Pro Max actually ruined a lot of features for me. Now I can't make my paninis anymore. I can't make toast anymore. It makes me mad. I used to love having anything. Yeah, and even at night when I'm cold, I can't even stay warm anymore. It's ridiculous.
You used to shove it down the front of your pants. It would keep everything.
Yeah, because the haptics were so good, but it was also the heat that made that really salty.
I know, yeah. It was like a massage. But no, like to quote this guy, he says here, it's rare to see such glaring problems from a major manufacturer so close to the device going on sale, and disappointing to see it on a phone we had such high hopes for.
No.
He goes on to say that right now we don't recommend buying the Pixel 8 Pro until Google has addressed these issues. Yeah.
I did not get that far.
Come on, man.
We need to get him on here. And you know what's funny? If he was on here, he'd have to defend himself. Nothing we say is going to change what he said because it's in print now. He's not going to.
This fucking clown, Andrew Lanson. And look at the fucking name. Look at the title he gives himself. Editor at large. Fuck off. Listen, I don't know. I know he's been around a long time.
Wait. I think you're an editor at large too, aren't you?
I am an editor at large, but I'm large for a different reason. But listen, this guy here, you don't come out the gate shitting on a brand new device when, especially you've only had it for 2 days and you haven't given it a proper chance. Now, CNET, that's one example, right? One example. But, if you look a little further into some of these other reviews, let's have a look at what else here. So there's, CNN, really good. They came out and said it's my favorite Google phone ever. Cool. Yahoo, I know,
and that's good. Finance. It's kind of like when iPhone reviews came out, like this is the best iPhone ever. I like when companies are compared because you can't. I hate to say this, you can't really compare a Google phone, an Android phone to an iOS device. They're two different OSs. They do similar things, but they are different. So when you say it's the best Google Pixel device, you're damn right it should be. But when you say it's not as good as the iPhone, you can't say that because everything's so different between the two. They focus on different aspects. That's just me.
I mean, you look at these other reviews, and they're mostly positive, right? Like Yahoo came out and said AI brains and plenty of brawn. Great. The best Android phone, Ars Technica. IGN came out and said, this is a great device. You should go out and buy it. The AI chops really deliver.
Did you read Phone Arena?
Yeah.
Phone Arena, did you? 7.9 is what they gave it, the Pro Max.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
So,
that's not bad. In all reality, a 7.9 is pretty much an 8. That's not terrible. But
yeah,
I just don't.
So same company, and I'm not even fucking making this up. This is the exact same company, CNET, 11 hours ago. This is the article they released. They actually released an article saying the Pixel 8 Pro camera has glitches. Here's how to sidestep them. A different editor, different reviewer. So their whole team has made up a decision about the Pixel 8 Pro right off the bat and has said, it's a piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck Google. Don't buy it. And now they're,
I'm done.
Yeah.
This is going in the trash, and I am switching full time back to the iPhone. I'm done. That's my exactly new thumbnail. Right. I'm doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, we might as well. And this is exactly, if you saw our thumbnail at the beginning of the show on the YouTube channel, you would have seen us. It was a graphic. I think Tuno made it of us throwing the iPhone, the Pixel into the trash.
And it's the blue one at that. I mean, come on, that's a good color. We're throwing that in the trash.
But again, this guy here, this is a whole article about, as a photographer, I wanted to love the Pixel Pro's new high-end camera technology, but some unpleasant photo surprises during my first week of testing meant my relationship with Google flagship smartphone got off to a rocky start. Come on, man. Come on, like
well written.
Seriously.
Well written.
Yeah, like some quality fucking reviews there, right? And there've been some really good ones. Like, I don't know if you caught the Forbes review. This was from a couple of days ago. And they said,
I saw the headline, but I didn't read it.
Yeah. Google has built the smartphone for everyone. And it talks about the AI first smartphone. Other companies out here, a lot of them are coming out and saying it's the best Pixel they've ever used, right? Kind of in the same vein as, say, the iPhone.
Yeah. I agree. It's probably the best. It's probably the best. Well, the best slab Pixel phone. I mean, the Pixel Fold is good, but I still think that the slab is probably a little bit more accessible price.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, look, most things that we can say, I think it was Mashable had this article out just the other day. And Mashable, I really respect as a place for tech reviews, but
for now,
for now. So they basically came out and said 3 things that critics hate. So they kind of go on a rant saying this is what people are saying are the worst parts about the Pixel. So battery life, again, I would argue it's only been a week. How the fuck can you test that?
Right.
But whatever. Right now they're saying it's neither impressive nor abysmal, which kind of tracks well with what we said. We don't really know yet. We would have to give it more.
Right.
Why is there a temperature sensor? I think, Tuna, we should talk about this now while we have it up on screen while an ad's pop.
Okay. So I have used it.
Oh, you did?
I used it a few times. I think here's what I think it happened. I think the temperature sensor was created during the COVID epidemic, or the realization that they thought it would continue, and it kind of has. It doesn't have the scare factor that it used to. And what's even more interesting, and I saw a video review of this, like if we saw those leaks, some of the leaked videos showed people using it on their foreheads and their temples.
Yes.
But now they're telling us we can't do that because it's not FDA approved. So I think, honestly, and I think Dave 2D said this. He goes, this was FDA approved. I definitely could see myself checking my kids' temperature because the phone's always in your hand. It's perfect.
Yep.
But you can't. How many people are going to go up to their coffee and say, oh, man, my coffee's 110 degrees. I better watch out. I was testing like my arm, even though you can't. And it was probably way off. I have no way of, verifying.
Right,
it's going to fall to the wayside, kind of like Soli. I think it's just going to disappear.
I think, you know what? I'll give them props. It's an experimental thing. They wanted to try something different. I'm okay with that. You know what?
And if it turns out to be something positive, they'll keep it. If not, they'll get rid of it. How are you ever going to know what people want? Just throw a dynamic island on it and make people do it?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly my point, right? Like, this is something that's a functional upgrade. Like, people will actually use it. People are not
once
using
it's fully available.
Dynamic island. Yeah, exactly. That dynamic island, people are not using that fucking thing. No one I know has come to me and said, oh, the dynamic island has changed the way I use my iPhone. No, the fuck it hasn't. You know what you use the dynamic island for? To track your fucking Uber delivery. That's what your Uber Eats delivery. That's the only thing you've used to track you on.
I use DoorDash. Island. Sorry, I don't use.
DoorDash. Same shit. Whatever. And maybe to see what track is playing. Occasionally, we'll like click on the fucking thing at the top. But Look, I'll give them props. It is something different. And like you said, it probably was a pre-COVID creation. And they were like, yeah, fuck it. Let's just put it in there and see what happens.
Well, it's already in there. Let's not take it out now. It's too late,
Exactly.
And that's why the live stream didn't mention more than a sentence about it?
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, I get it. I mean, it might work for some people. Measuring the temperature of your kids is a really good application for that. I would actually probably use the same thing. Now, the last thing here they talk about is the price. So I'm going to ask you this, Tuna. Do you think it is worth the $100 price uptick?
On paper, yes. Whether
Fair?
the processor is as fast as we think, it is faster, 15 to 20%, just like every iPhone upgrade. It's got a flat screen. I'm more partial to rounded screens, but either way, the screen has been updated. It's super bright.
Yes.
It's great outdoors. I'm going to tell you after a week, I guarantee that battery life's at least going to be 10, 12% better.
Yes. After it learns your habits.
Yeah, and it's got upgraded, software. And Samsung, Google is a software company. They do hardware too, but they're software. And just quality updates, the 7-year thing, I don't really care about. I don't keep my phones that long. No. But the pixel drops keep the phone fresh.
It does,
The new AI stuff is fantastic. And right now it's locked, but I don't know if you saw, there's been some people on XGA that have already got like the pro camera modes on their 7.
Of course they have. Of course they have, yeah. But I expected that to happen because it's just an APK. That's all it is.
It's an Android. Yeah, that's what Androids do. They're not locked down like iPhones, so you're going to have that. Yep.
Did you notice, have you tried the pro mode yet, Tuna?
I have not. Ooh.
So the only thing I noticed with the pro mode is that when you are, and this is to be expected, when you're taking a full 50 megapixel photo, it does take a little longer to process, to snap the photo, because they're dealing with a lot more visual information, and I'm completely okay with that. I did notice that though.
It's junk.
Yeah, it's junk.
Away.
In the garbage. Let's go. But apparently it's the worst phone ever made, according to fucking CNET. So
Oh my god.
But anyway, I think the $100 price jump, I do think it is worth it. I think that, especially considering that you do have a much nicer screen, a much brighter screen. Yep. The processor is snappier. You've got all new camera lenses in the 8 Pro. So you've got new things there. One thing that we'll talk about, I know we didn't get a chance to mention this, the selfie cam. So there is something going on with the processing of selfie images currently.
Before you jump into selfie cam, before you jump into that, calling back the price, I do think the 8 Pro is good for $999. I wish it had 256 gigabytes of memory, but either way, I think the better deal, honestly, is the 8 Pro.
Yes.
I mean the 8. I'm sorry, just to pay for $699. I think that's a fantastic. It's a perfect size. It's got. And I say $699, I mean USD. It's different across the world. I just think that's a better deal for most people, and it's going to do what most people want. The 12 megapixel wide, ultra wide is going to be plenty enough, and most people don't zoom past a couple anyways. Exactly. But I think it's good. And the selfie camera, I've used it. I mean, maybe it's just I'm a better phone user.
Probably.
And a better subject. More photogenic.
Yes, that's exactly
I'm a better
right.
subject.
Yeah. Well, again, I took my very first selfie today. I took a photo and I was like, I don't know if it was the lighting or if it was me. I don't fucking know. But the long and short of it was I look like a piece of shit. And it could be the long week that I've had. It could be I'm exhausted and tired.
I don't know. I think I look pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, it looks great. It looks really good. I mean, I don't.
Let me
see any issues with it.
I'll do the same. Hang on a second. Let me.
Now, again, I am a model, and this is the moneymaker right here. So, I mean, it makes sense.
True.
But I'm makeup free today too. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, hang on one second. Let's see if I can pull up a photo.
It's all natural beauty.
Yeah. Okay. Here, like, that's pretty good. If you can see that, like, that's actually fucking pretty accurate. That was much better than the photo I took today.
Kind of old though.
I know.
I look like Ryan Reynolds, kind of. It was kind of strange.
It's true. This is true. Yes, I know.
I hope Blake Lively's not watching this.
Oh, it's okay. If she is, how you doing? But yes. On that note, I think I think there's probably some software tweaking that needs to be done on the selfie camera, just a little bit.
It's all software, and it'll be fixed. I'm not worried about any of that stuff.
No, me either. And like I said, I know some people have mentioned that in the reviews, that thing, and listen, that's something that legitimately I can see as needing a little bit of a fix or a tweak or whatever you want to call it. I think it's got something to do with the color and the contrast. I think they might be dialed down a bit too much. And needs.
You know what though? I think I figured. Thinking about this, when Samsung had the moon AI, where someone would take a picture of the moon and it would use AI.
Yes.
Maybe the selfie. If you're a male and you keep taking the same picture, it just makes you Brad Pitt. Maybe it's an AI thing. And every female looks like, I don't know, Scarlett Johansson or something. I don't know. I'm not a female. I wouldn't know.
Listen, I'm okay with that. And
every dog looks like Air Bud.
Yes, yes, with the hat and everything. The hat and the shoes.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy. We need to get on Google for that one right now.
That's exactly right. That's it. Now, can we talk about the Pixel Watch 2? Because I know we've had chance.
This one right here.
Yes. So I haven't had a chance to fully unbox or test mine yet, but Tuna's had his on. Yeah. And you had the one. You had the Pixel Watch OG.
I had the one. Got rid of it pretty quickly.
Okay.
And didn't like the battery life at all. Okay. So, couple things. When I first got the watch I opened it up. And it's very familiar, but I'm telling you, the Wear OS version, I have a Samsung 6, and it's Wear OS, but it's got their Samsung spin on it. I really like the look and the feel of this. But my issue was, and I don't know if you heard about this, I was posting on it. The day I set it up, Fitbit went down globally.
Oh, yes.
So you can use the watch, but you couldn't log into Fitbit. So they still have that issue where you have to log in with your Google account, and then you have to sign into the Fitbit with Google account separate. And it was down. So I couldn't do anything until the next morning.
Right, okay.
Battery life.
It's been fixed since, right?
It is. And it's about, I would say, I have a Fitbit Sense 2 and I have the Samsung. I would say the accuracy is probably more in the middle of both those. It's not as over dramatic as the Sense 2, but it's not as, I don't know. It's a mixture. It's really good.
Okay. So it's good. Yeah.
So I slept last night with it on.
Okay.
And I guess it's accurate. Battery life is still not great. I would say it's probably about, I have an Apple 8. I'm not sure what the 9 has, because the 9 has a new chip in it. I would say it's about equal to that. So I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, did 2 workouts, had it on all day. And by the time I took it off about 9 o'clock to take a shower, I don't wear my watches in the shower. That's when I charge it. Yeah. I think I was at like 30 or 40%, which isn't bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
That's a whole day plus some. And then by the time I got out of the shower and put it back on, it was probably back up to 50 or 60%. But I let it stay on there to 100, and I went to sleep. When I woke up, it was at 67%. And it probably would have went all day.
Yeah.
And it already, the speaker's loud. I like the notifications.
Okay.
It's pretty loud for me.
Yep.
I don't make phone calls on it, though. But I did one time today. I guarantee if you turned off always on display, you would get at least a couple more hours out of it. But I kind of like it. I haven't changed watch faces. I haven't really messed with, but I'm actually impressed. Charging is quick. I like that it uses the pogo pins from the Fitbit, so it's quick and easy. You don't have to fumble around. I think the magnet on the Pixel 1 was terrible. Pixel Watch 1. This one's like, and I can use my Fitbit chargers from the Sense 2 and all work together. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's my impression. I'm not really a big fan of the blue now that I have it. I like the blue on the phone, but the watch makes me feel a little different.
I told you. Told you. Blue. I told you.
My coworker said, he goes, "That blue looks good on you." I'm like, I know he was being very sarcastic. When
of course he was. Yeah. I know. Listen, I love design, and I guess I'm generally a boring smartphone consumer. If you think about blacks and whites, and basically and gray is about as far as they go for colors. And you don't want to know how I learned that lesson? I'll tell you how I learned that lesson. A few years back, I bought the gold iPhone, and it's pretty. It looks nice. Then I started to fucking resent it. I hated the color. I hated everything about it. When you put on a black case, you would see the gold accent sticking through. It would drive me fucking insane. The gold camera bar on a black case, brown case, green case, whatever, it looked fucking stupid. I learned my lesson. I was like, never again. I'm just going to stick with the neutral colors that go with pretty much everything. And I'm okay with that. I mean, I got the natural titanium iPhone, and I kind of wish I'd gone to black, if I'm being honest. But it looks nice.
I think I got the blue, but can you even tell that's blue? I guess with that light right there, you can. It does not look blue at all. I like the color blue on the phone.
That's a nice blue. Actually, my wife has the Pro. I took that out of the box because I set up all her tech because she's useless. I was impressed with the color. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a really nice color. She chose it. I'm like, all right, cool, go ahead or whatever. The natural titanium on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is kind of an interesting color because in some lights it looks silver. In other lights, it looks kind of gold tinged.
I think that's all their colors. They all, even the blue one, like at certain angles, it looks like it's silver. I mean, and that's the titanium, the shiny metal. But like with this, you can't mistake this.
That's
I'm getting a lot of light. I like it though. I don't think
it's a nice color, and a lot of people do. It looks good. It's a nice.
And I wear a lot. Like at work, I wear gray and black. Khaki color stuff. And I'm at work, and I'm doing something in a professional setting, and my sleeve is kind of pulled up. And I'm like, oh, my blue's sticking out. And I'm like, this does not look right with what I'm wearing right now.
You're going to end up changing that band for a black one. I'm willing to bet.
And you can. That's the good news. Yes, I can go to Amazon. I'm sure they sell some pretty cheap ones. I've bought them before. So
I've been waiting because I love the design of the Pixel Watch, but I'm always fearful that I'm going to smash my wrist against a wall or a door or something like that. What I'm waiting for is a good Pixel Watch 2 case. So like Spigen and a few other brands.
And the Pixel Watch 1 cases will not fit. I guarantee.
No, they don't. Yeah. So, and that's a good lesson for anyone that's listening. And if you're looking on Amazon right now going, I wish I could find one. Oh, I'll just buy a Pixel 1 case. Don't. They do not fit.
Does it have to do with the sensor on the bottom, or does it?
It's the concave bottom, I believe, is the issue. It's a bit thicker and a few other things. But I mean, look, I'm waiting for. I think I will probably end up waiting until I can find a case that has a bit of a bezel protection, because I will slam my wrist against the door, undoubtedly. Probably.
I've never broke a smartwatch before. No, now that
I've scuffed the shit out of them. Never broken one. So I don't remember. I don't know if you remember when I got my Apple Watch Ultra. I smashed into the door frame on one of the very first days. I actually took a chunk out of the wood. The watch was perfect, but the door frame not so much. So
they use sapphire and titanium. So
well, there's that, right? I mean, I was actually thinking that Google was going to go down the sapphire route this year. I thought that might have been something
they have to go down. They got to take it slow. Next year, they'll introduce another size.
Yes.
They made the right decision with the chip. It is smooth. I haven't seen any like dragging or, lagging. Everything seems to work. And I used Google Assistant finally today for the first time. I thought I had it set up. And it was like instantaneous, like the response.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Some of the things you could do to probably tweak battery life would be turn off always on. Turn off Wi-Fi, because if you're connected to Bluetooth, the only thing you're really going to need Wi-Fi for is to download offload music, but you can download it and turn off Wi-Fi. I'm sure that would save a little bit of battery life.
Yeah.
But
now, the band and the connector is pretty much the same from what I understand.
They are the same as from what I understand. Yeah.
So for those of you who have a Pixel OG Gen 1, you can use the bands that you bought with the original Pixel watch, which I think was a good play by Google. It's taking a page from Apple there, right? Saying, hey, it's not changed much, but you can still use your original bands.
And if they make a bigger size, they need to do the same thing. Keep the same clasp.
Yes, because you're going to piss people off otherwise, and they're going to just go, fuck you, I'm going back to my Apple Watch. Now, have you said you've used the speaker on the watch?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. So I've only used it for one phone call, and I was in a quiet area, and it sounded just fine. The other thing is like the Apple Watch, you have your dings and notifications, and I was like really impressed with how the haptic and the sound it reminded me of an Apple Watch. But obviously, when I'm at work, I can't have that dinging all the time, so now it's silenced, so I don't hear it.
Yes.
I did notice that if your watch is on silent or your phone's on silent, your watch is on silent now.
Okay.
They kind of mimic each other.
Oh, so they finally figured that out, eh? Because that was one of the issues from Gen 1.
And I believe you can change that too if you want, so you can do them separately as well. I could be wrong.
Right.
The other thing I like about it is, so if you can see, I have the thing on the inside or the outside of my wrist instead of the inside.
Yes.
So it comes.
Yep.
You're supposed to. I do this when I work out. If I'm doing push-ups, I'm not pushing the button by accident.
Yes.
So I like the fact that you can do that, and you can do that with the Pixel 1 too. So can't do that with the Apple Watch though.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can. I've never tried that before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of the accessibility settings where you have the dial on the left or the right.
Oh, accessibility. They put it underneath there.
I know. Yeah, I know. Right.
But now, I was doing the crab. I was doing the crab thing, and it wasn't working.
I know, right? Like, who would have thought that it's an Apple specific thing? You were like,
oh, it's Apple specific. I
know, right? Who would have thought Apple created air gestures? But yeah, so. One thing I wanted to ask you, I just saw there was an article about this today. So on your Pixel in the Google search bar, have you tried the AI generative imagery? So apparently,
say that again.
So if you go to the search bar and you type in "draw me a picture of tuna," does it do it? Because a few people are saying that they've managed to get it working. It was like a thing that apparently was meant to be activated with the Pixel. And I tried it, didn't work for me.
So I typed in "draw me a picture of," and nothing. I mean,
he wrote penis.
It just popped up pictures of what I said.
Right. Okay.
I said a French man. I don't know. It just popped up in my search, and it just showed me pictures of men that apparently are French. I don't know. But what's interesting is a lot of times when you do search, there's a little thing in the top of the screen, little test tube. I don't know if you've seen that. Maybe there's somewhere.
Click
here we go. Yeah. SGE, generative AI in search.
Yes, click that. Activate that feature.
It's all turned on, though. It's all activated.
Okay. So that's...
I will tell you this. When I do searches,
yeah.
When I search for anything like, I compare something. Like I'll look up iPhone 15. I always get suggestions with the AI now. Even when I go to the website, which is nice. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
I think some people might get annoyed by that, but...
Well, I mean, it's reading your search history. I mean, if it went through Tuna's search history,
they always have.
I know they're going to delete. He's going to have to delete his browsing history before AI figures out what's going on. I already did. Shh. Oh, you already did? Okay, yeah. It's auto delete.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think that's a pretty interesting concept because you and I know, like, you've been designing our thumbnails for our podcast, our weekly podcast. So if you're wondering who's doing them, Tuna, great job, nicely done. I wondered if it would generate one for us, but I don't have access to it here.
I tried
because you tried, didn't work.
I tried. I didn't try on there. So there's a couple apps you can download, and there's some websites you can do where you can type in something. And the problem with it is a lot of those AI things are. So if you say iPhone's on fire, it kind of blurs an iPhone picture because or if you say like a person. The face isn't really a person because that's part of that. I guess the AI safety features.
Yes.
So you can't say I need a picture of Darren and get a picture of you on fire, and that would be like a conflict that ethical issue. So that's the only problem with that. Yeah. That's why I haven't done that. That would be the easy way out.
Yes.
But
not
quite there. Now, there is AI logo generators.
Yes, which is cool. It's a cool concept. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, I mentioned to you earlier in the week on the iPhone, the sticker functionality. So on the iPhone, any image that you have in your camera roll, you probably know that you can hold on it and it will copy it, cut out whatever you're clicking on, and you can paste it into text messages as a GIF or whatever. But I didn't realize you could actually save those in the form of a sticker. So like if you have a picture of you waving, you could hold on it.
This is on iPhone or Pixel?
On iPhone, I'm talking about here.
Okay.
So their version of AI. So basically you could hold on the image, it will copy it, do the necessary cutout, it will guess what you think it wants, and then you can actually, it'll give you the option to save. Oh, right, there you go. Nice.
So this is a blow up in my front yard, and I just selected it, and it turns it white. This is on the Pixel.
Yeah, right. Okay.
This is where you can move it around, right?
Yeah. And does it work?
I know. I just erased something.
Yeah, I found that too. When you hold on the image on the pixel, it'll select it, and then you have to hold on it to move it. But sometimes it wasn't working. I don't know if that's
see, I just moved it. I just moved it, and then this is where it gets weird because then you hit the little arrow button.
Yeah.
Now I haven't tried the sticker thing on iPhone. I think to me, I don't ever do that kind of stuff.
Oh, for me, I was just fucking around.
Generating. Like, what the hell is it doing?
I don't know.
Well, that's the original picture, and I just moved it off to the side. But what the hell is it doing?
Why is it taking so long to thing along? This
is what it does.
Yeah.
There. And now you see how I moved off the side?
Yes.
Now it's a dark picture, but well, I guess with that picture you can kind of see. I don't think it looks fake at all. But the problem is the dark picture where it used to be, it's like a shadow. It's like a shadow.
Right. I'll show you the one that I was using earlier today. So this was okay, so I was using this image here too. I don't know if you can see right there. So this is an image of...
Yeah, that's the one. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So if I go to edit, and I'll try to do this live so you can see, and I click on this lovely little AI button, if I can grab it right there. So I'll tap on her. It'll select her.
Right.
Drag her across. Click the arrow. And then it does the 8,000 minutes of generating.
That's that TPU processing. It's crunching those numbers, let me tell you.
It's crunching those numbers. I always wonder what it would be like if it was a Snapdragon Gen 2. Like, how good would it be? So here is where it kind of gets interesting. I don't know if it's going to translate on camera, but here, it's going
to be hard to see on the camera.
Yeah. But here's the original. Right, hang on. Let me do that again. Okay. Here's the original. There's the generated thing. Now, the one thing I'll notice, and this is where it gets interesting, is when you zoom in is where it kind of gets a bit shady. It almost has a slight halo effect around the outside.
Okay. Let me ask you
now, yes.
Are we being overly critical?
Probably. And look, I mean, I'm just saying, for me, I went, oh, fuck, that's amazing. It was my wife, who is a non-technical person, who said it looks kind of fake. Now, I can't agree with that because I still think it looks pretty good. And, fuck, who knows, right? I mean, it's all subject. It's all, I mean, you know what? Maybe
but you're right. Other one... Here's the iPhone. Like, here's the iPhone, and it's not, and I'm not in edit. I'm just looking at it, and you click on this person.
Yep.
I can get to I can't see. Look at that. Instantly.
Yeah.
I don't have to hold anything, and it just...
Yeah.
Now, you can't move it around, but...
No.
You get what I'm saying.
But I'll show you the one that I was talking about earlier. So this was the one... So this is another photo that I was using here too now. So this is a photo of my son at the Rogers Stadium here in Toronto playing baseball. So I was like, okay, let's move him around. Let's see what happens. And I'll give you an example of this is where it kind of went a bit pear-shaped for me. So I click that fancy button. I click on him. Oh, not that. Hang on. Let's try that again. I'm going to remove the whole fucking... There. Okay, so that's selected him. Okay?
Yep.
So I'm going to drag him to the left corner here. Okay, like that. And I'm going to generate it. Now, this was the one that my wife went, yeah, this looks like shit. And I could probably see this if I'm being honest. Like, it wasn't...
I'm going to assume there's some kind of artifacts left behind from where he was.
Not at all. You can see that right there.
Not.
But...
Yeah, and you know why that is? Do you know why that is?
Yeah.
Because where he was standing, the light was hitting him a certain way. And then you move him, and the light probably doesn't. And I thought that was part of the AI would fix that, but
yeah. So
we're not pixel peeping, are we?
No
pun
exactly.
intended.
And listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, it's still a fucking cool feature, and I'm sure in 9 out of 10 use cases, it's going to be amazing. Look at this. Look how good it is. I still think Magic Eraser is fucking magic. I really do. I still love every time I use it.
It is, but I've noticed if you have a busy background, you can tell.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
So just like this, like that one I just showed you, that picture of the blow up, it's dark. So when I moved it, you can still kind of see a shadow of where it was. But so nothing's perfect, and I think that'll get better over time because I know Magic Eraser's kind of gotten better, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
The only thing I wanted to bring up. Okay, so we have the watch, we have the phone, we have the Pixel Buds Pro. I think it's are they the 2s? So they've been out for a while.
Yeah.
It's just the ones. Okay. They've been out for a while. And I have the coral ones. I didn't get blue ones.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I haven't used them probably since I got them. Maybe once before. I didn't think the sound was that great. So I opened them up, charged them up, hooked them up to the 8 Pro. So I want to be in the ecosystem. Yeah. And I got an update. Yeah. I got the clear call thing. So first thing I did was I went for a walk with my dog. It was kind of windy out. Called my mom. And I said, how do I sound? She goes, fine. I said, you hear wind? She goes, no, I don't hear any wind. And then a car drives by. I said, you hear any cars? She goes, I don't hear anything. You sound perfect. So I was really blown away by that. And in the conversation mode, as soon as I opened my mouth, it didn't work. So I want to say it was Sony or Samsung. When they first started, every time I like grind my teeth, it would shut off. But this one doesn't use movement. I think it uses sound.
Yes.
So as soon as I said the first word, like, hey, instantly it would mute the sound so you could talk.
Okay. Yeah.
So it was actually very, very good, but the sound quality is just not there for me personally.
Yeah, it's not. It isn't. I mean, the sound is, I would say, probably above average. Serviceable. Yes. It is definitely not a premium Sony earphone or anything like that. It's not even AirPods good. But
you're an Apple sheep, so
exactly. I only use iPhones, of course, right? No, this Pixel's bullshit going in the garbage today.
So you're kind of the guy that when you hold an iPhone, you have your pinky out, so it's like
I like to flex my pinky out, like that, exactly like that, right? Yes, like oh please stop calling me, right?
Do you have any Grey Poupon?
Yes, exactly. So I mean, look, I think a week past the Google release. And now that they're in people's hands, generally the reception's been pretty good. But again, what has been annoying, again, with every Pixel release, is this thing where we need to bring down a company who's genuinely trying to make a more interesting smartphone. And that's really what annoys me. They're trying. They put a temperature sensor in there. They're throwing some AI in there. Apple didn't do that. Samsung didn't do that. Well, they did, and then they fucking got rid of it 10 generations ago. But the point is that Google is where Samsung was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. They're on the cusp of creating some great devices. And if you go back down Samsung's line, there are lots of people who would argue that phones like the Note 9 and the Note 10 were peak Samsung. And that was 5 years ago now, 6 years ago.
Yeah, the Note 7 was fire. The Note 7 was fire.
Listen, even the iPhone 15 Pro Max couldn't match that one. So
that's the thing. So Pixel's on its is it really on its 8th generation?
7 years apparently.
Yeah. So in terms of if you compare it to iPhone 15, and they're double the amount of time they've been out. So Google's trying. I think the difference between Apple and Google is Google will throw everything out there and see what sticks and kind of scale back, whereas iPhone's going to play it safe and they're going to use things that have like they'll see Samsung, Google, Oppo doing all this stuff like the periscope lens, and they'll take that periscope lens and they'll make it into a W shape and call it something different, but it'll be more their style. And I think Google doesn't do that. They kind of try to do things on their own. That's why their software is so unique.
Yes.
But I think you're right. We need to give them a little bit of break and let's see what happens in the next couple months. 6 months from now, we'll revisit it and see where they're at.
Well, look, let's put it to you this way, right? Let's go closing thought here. If we went by generations of iPhone, the Pixel would be the iPhone 7. And you may remember with the iPhone 7, that was a pretty big generational jump. That was the first time they did the matte black. Pixel's done it.
And the double cameras, right?
And the double cameras, right, were in there. And you had stereo speakers, like good stereo speakers.
Well, there was a Pro. Wasn't there a 7 Pro?
And there was a Pro.
2 different sizes?
That's correct. Yeah, it was a Pro. Yeah, it was a Pro, right? Or Pro Plus? Was it? I can't even remember. But
I don't remember.
I don't know, some fucking bizarre name. But anyway, what I'm getting at is the 8 Pro is a lot like the iPhone 7. It was a big improvement, but there was still room for growth. And I think that's probably the best way.
And a lot
of new things. Exactly. First time we had a design
change.
And
the problem with Google is they keep Well, and Google keeps upgrading the sensors.
Yes. Yeah, stick with the same one.
See, they're
yeah.
And but the thing is people don't want that. They have paid $1,000. They want a new sensor, and maybe the sensors are better, and the cameras are good, fine. But you got to remember the computational stuff. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Whatever. So I mean, look, I think we'll leave it there for today. But I think if you stumble across CNET or you bump into someone who fucking works there, tell that Mark fucking guy that he's a douche, and tell him to lay the fuck off Google for just 5 minutes and give him a chance to release some software updates and just kind of get their shit together, because we forgave the iPhone for fucking setting our phones on fire for a month. We can forgive Google for a couple of little software things that need to be fixed.
And if you're going to throw your Pixel in the trash, send it my way. I'll
exactly.
make good use of it.
We'll take it. All right. Well, on that note, this has been the TNT Podcast. Thank you, Tuna, for joining us. And thank you, everybody that's been listening. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, and everywhere else you find great podcasts. And please remember, hit that like, subscribe button. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're everywhere. We'll be following you home today. No, just kidding. On that note, we will catch you on the next one, 7 p.m. next Friday. And thank you very much. Catch you on the next show. Peace.